if you don't have a plan, if you don't have a genuine plan, right? A concrete plan that makes sense, right? If you don't have that dream, that passion, that drive, like a Walt Disney type of dream, like that difference that you're going to bring to the world, or that investment that you believe in your heart that you can do it no matter what. Because you might have failures along the way, but if you don't have that drive to keep going, this that I'm going to mention here is probably not for you. Hey guys, welcome back to another video. I am Kayon, Aldria, and we're in the new year. It's the first week in the year. I hope so far you are doing those things that you probably put on your goals list to say, okay, today I'm going to wake up early. I don't know who I'm talking to, but you know yourself. Or okay, I'm going to start exercising, or okay, I'm going to start reading my Bible every day. Whatever it is, I hope you are doing that. Yes. Yeah, so in today's video, resign before you retire. I know it might not sound like much sense to you right now, but just hear me out. Just hear me out and let me know what you think. I'm stepping on eggshells here because not many people want to hear this, but like I said, this channel is all about growth and speaking the truth. So let's get into this video. Many persons aspire to get a good job, and you stay in that good job that has benefits until you're ready to retire. I realized that when I started working in the work world, I met so many different people who only had the one job, and then you have a lot of other persons who had their own businesses or trying to do their own businesses, so maybe are planning for retirement by getting properties as a means to help this good job when they retire, so that whatever they're getting for pension, whatever they get for pension, to help supplement it. Because what a lot of persons who sells insurance and all these retirement things will tell you, oh, when you retire from your 9 to 5, it won't be able to sustain or maintain your retirement lifestyle, right? I noticed it, right? And then I'm like, okay, I need to get a business, I need to get something on the side, all of that, right? But nobody spoke about the whole fact that you can actually, to give you that head start, a lot of people, even maybe persons who want to come to Canada, a lot of people sometimes they don't have that money, that lump sum money to start. Because let's be honest, many people are living, you might be living comfortable, you work, you pay your bills, and then at the end of paying all your bills and doing all the comfort things that you like, you only have a certain amount of disposable income. That might be the truth, right? And to get more than just a certain amount of disposable income, that's where a lot of persons now are starting other side businesses and other things, because you realize that you need to have multiple sources of income instead of just one, right? But this is it. Nobody told you that, hey, you can resign before you retire. I said it. Say for example, you're in a good job, right? And you've done maybe 5 years. I know in Jamaica, for you to become vested, you need to do at least 5 years before the company matches your contribution towards your pension, right? Say you did 5 years. I'm gonna tell you right now, honey, maybe it's time to look at a different job, resign from that job, and start a new job in a new career or whatever it is with other benefits. When you resign, the money that you'll get when you resign that you've contributed, right? You can use it in two ways. One, they will give you the option to reinvest it back into a retirement scheme that you'll only get that money when you reach the age of retirement. So they'll invest it for you. You can either choose to contribute to it monthly same way, or you can choose to not put anything on it and just put that lump sum that you've just gotten paid out to you in the plan or the retirement scheme until you reach 60, and they invest that for you. Or this is where it gets sweet, or I didn't know this, or you can take that lump sum of money in your account today. The vested part that the company would have invested for you, though, it has to stay until retirement. But any amount that you've contributed to your plan, you can get that money cash. Resign before you retire, because when you get that money cash, if you're someone who is business savvy, right? You're business savvy, or you don't even have to have the best investment strategy, but you can find a good mutual fund that pay with some good well-known blue chip type of stocks, and you're not one to go and touch it. Like Queenie did the video.
I did say when I reach 40, I don't want to stop shoplift. But even when I was 47, I did still a pinch. Right up to 50, so it not just get up and happen. Right now, I still take a little bottle of water and walk out now and then to test my skill. You get me? Yeah, it's true.
If you're that type of person, maybe you should not be doing this. This is only for people who have business mindset, who maybe they just need that money to really start their business the right way, or maybe they need that money to invest in a property, another property, because maybe yes, the bank will give you the loan to buy a second property, right? But you don't have that down payment yet that can be used, and you would get another job already first before you resign your first one. No one leaves one job before getting another, right? So it's a risk that if you're young, maybe you haven't reached 30s yet, but you've spent a little while in the workforce in a good enough job, it's a good risk to start looking at other companies and take a leap of faith, take a shot, because the truth is, you see that money when you retire. Honestly, when you sit and just wait in that one job, and when you retire, the money, they give you a lump sum when you just retire, and then the rest, it is used to pay little. It's going to be like nothing at that point. And at that point, you can't do certain investments. Also, the second advantage of resigning early and then going and getting another job is the whole fact that when you resign from one job and you go to another job, you're going to ensure that you get a higher pay increase. So immediately right there, you just gave yourself an increase in pay, right? So that will make you be able to get higher credit when it comes to doing business with banks. So at the end of the day, with those two benefits, who doesn't want a pay increase, right? A pay increase and that lump sum of money that you can get to start a business or start something new is one that a lot of young people, we didn't know this. Nobody talks about this, because honestly, when I was in rooms with persons who are much older than me, and I look up to them, nobody around me would encourage this madness. They wouldn't encourage this madness because it's risky. But in life, I'm going to tell you now, this is a new year. If you want to win this year, if you want to win 2023, you have to be able to take risks, but calculated risks. Okay? Don't be going out there and doing some crazy things and say, I told you. Right? I am not a financial advisor. Let's get that clear. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just telling you something that worked out for me that I wasn't expecting. When I was resigning from a job in Jamaica, it had nothing to do with pension money, because I didn't even know of that. I didn't really care about that. I just thought it was just automatically going to go in a pension scheme, and I will see it when I retire. I rather bet on myself. I don't know. I'm a bet on me. I'm going to bet on myself. At the end of the day, I have no one to blame but myself if I play my cards how I want to play it. And you only get one life to live. So I would say bet on yourself. Work on you. You never lose. I've heard people, the wealthiest of people, say this in life. You never lose when you invest in yourself. You never lose. So I rather go invest in myself, right? So I never knew at the time, but after realizing, like after everything came through and I saw this money and they're telling me, oh, you need to, and I was like, damn, then why didn't someone tell me this before? Because then, you know, I could have planned better so that when I get that money, I would have known, ooh, I can do this investment. But it came, and you know, I had to look at the situation and decide what's best to do when that money actually came in the account. So I'm telling you from now, you can have a strategy and plan wisely so that, okay, you start looking for jobs that will pay you more than your current job, and when you do get that opportunity, you take it and you take that money and put it to use. Not everyone will see that payout, and sometimes some people, they weren't expecting it, so then they get redundancy and then they get a bigger lump sum, and then when they get that money, they still don't know what to do with it. Because the truth is, if you don't know how to invest $100 or $5 from now, when you get $1 million or $10 million, you still won't know what to do with it. So think about it. Resign before you retire. Get another job. Us millennials and Gen Z, we are about getting good opportunities, getting educated. So with that better start as a millennial or Gen Z, take that risk on yourself, but be smart and calculated about it. But that's something nobody talks about, and I found it very interesting, because as somebody like me who loves investment, I maybe would have thought another way. If you want to take a risk on Canada, right, you want to take a risk on starting your life over in a new country, because yeah, you see that Jamaica is not for you. If you know how much money is in your pension fund, right, that's your school fee probably right there. That's that money that you've been thinking, ooh, yeah, that's it right there. But like I said, you have to have a plan, and you have to make sure that, okay, you know the amount that's there, and you know what you need when you come here. It must be a calculated risk. It must be a risk that when you take it, you know the necessary risks that are associated with it, and you know how to mitigate those risks. So be calculated, be smart, and an investment in yourself, it pays the best returns. It pays the best returns. I won't lie, one of the biggest investments I've made in myself is to get an education. And I won't lie, that UTech, that University of Technology degree, that engineering degree, I don't put it up in something big on a wall. I have it somewhere tucked away, you know, the Jamaican thing, right? But that degree is one of the best investments I've ever made in myself. And Windalco and the other construction company that gave me scholarships in my final years, it's one of the best investments they made in me, and I hope one day I can give back. And everyone else who invested in me over the years, because that degree is one of the best. It's one of the best investment I've ever made, because it keeps on paying the bills now. And for me personally, I'll never shy away from doing a degree that makes sense. And I'll never shy away from being educated. And you can be educated on YouTube. Resign before you retire. I don't know. Tell me what you think. what do you think? Nobody talks about it. It's not something that's talked about. It's not something that nobody in their so-called right mind would tell someone else to do. But you know, because I'm a little cuckoo over here, I don't know, I can see the bigger picture and I can see that vision, and I am a risk taker, right? I can tell you that if you actually sit, make a plan, you can use that money to change your life. So instead of waiting until you retire to get little to nothing and sitting down in maybe somewhere in an environment where you're unhappy, that's a way to change your life. A lot of people sometimes, you're saying, oh, if I get $1 million tomorrow, or oh, I wish somebody could just give me $1 million, or I wish somebody could give me $10 million, right? And you're sitting there with probably $10 million in a retirement account that you're paying consistently every month. You are richer than you think. You are richer than you think. I never thought about that, right? It was never on my mind. But you see, after learning that and knowing that, now that I'm in Canada, I look at also what am I paying exactly on a monthly basis when it comes to my salary. What can this money do for me in the future? In my case, it won't be, oh, resign another job in another 5 years because to get that. Because here in Canada, we pay CPP, which is a Canadian pension plan, and that one is with the government, similar like what we would have in Jamaica. But the good thing is, unlike Jamaica, you don't need to resign from your job to get that payout, because in Canada they have RRSP, where it's also, again, similar to the pension that I was paying in my home country, where you put a certain amount to your pension, or you put the maximum, and then your employer will match that amount, right? So you have what is called the RRSP, which is similar to paying your pension in Jamaica, where your employer match any amount that you pay, but not any amount. They normally have maybe like a 5% or 10%, depending on the employer. Every employer give you a certain amount, similar like in Jamaica, that your gross salary, a percentage of that they will match. And if you stay with that company for a certain amount of years, so like in the first 5 years they match like maybe 4 or 5%, or maybe 3%, I don't know, every company is different. And then after the 5 years, if you're still with that company, then another 5 to 10 years they'll increase the amount that they'll give you, and you know, similar. But the difference, here is the difference with Canada and Jamaica. You see that RRSP, that registered retirement savings plan, you can actually use that money to help you. The government will help you to buy a house if it's your first home. So you don't have to think about, oh, I'm going to take out all of that money, right? I'm going to take out all of that money for my down payment. The government has a way where you can get a certain amount of money. It's like taking a loan from yourself, because it's really a retirement money, right? But taking a loan from yourself where you pay back this money, I believe it's at 0% interest, right? Over a certain time. You and your banker would come up with the amount of percentage you're going to pay each year to put back the money that you would have taken out of your RRSP. I think the last time I was reading something was saying like it was like a 30,000 from each account. I don't remember exactly, but that's the difference. You can actually use your retirement money here in Canada from now while you're alive and then pay it back. But in Jamaica, you have to resign to see that money, right? So that's the difference. Nobody told me that before, and it was after I resigned, because I'm taking on a new opportunity. I realized that, and I'm like, well, many people do not know this is one way you can pay your international fees to start a new life, Or even if it's not to start a new life, to move to Canada, it is another way you can use this money to do some investment in your life, to start a business, to go into the real estate market as an investor, to have a property. You know, you can use it also to maybe invest in different stocks, your own stocks that you probably believe will make history, for companies that you keep on buying, where you can actually see your money. So all the best to you, and when you come to Canada, don't forget to check out the RRSP, because even as an international student and you're working, you can contribute. And every year there is a certain amount of money that you can contribute to that fund. And once you contribute that money, you can decide if for your RRSP you want to invest in a certain types of stocks, mutual funds. It's up to you on how you invest that money. So at the end of the day, you can't really lose if you decide to use up the RRSP pathway, or you decide to use the TFSA. That's another thing too, but that's for another day, that tax-free savings account. So I hope this was very enlightening. Many people don't talk about it. It's crazy, but it's just for people who maybe need a way out, or people who have an investment that they probably really believe in. And if you're going to put in the work, that's a way out. You have to have that dream. You have to have that conviction that you believe in yourself, because any investment in yourself pays the best returns. But you have to know, you have to have a calculated plan with calculated risks, ways that you can mitigate things that might come, because nothing that you're going to do that's worth making a difference in your entire life will be easy. You're going to have to show up on days where you don't feel like doing it. I want to see everybody win. I want us all to get there. Contrary to what people make you believe, that oh, it's just a little side of the pie should be at the top. All of us can be at the top. All of us. You just have to create that network. And I think I'm creating network, you sitting here and talking to you guys. I think I'm creating that network of powerful women and men who are going to rise up. I do. So if you're the type of person who is business minded, ready to take certain risks in life, this is for you. Nobody told you, but now you know. This is a way you can plan. You can start, create that new future for yourself. 2023, we are doing what we say we're going to do. And 2023, we're going to take risks. 2023, we're going to do things that people be wondering, oh, she cuckoo, she crazy. But no, let them wonder, because you know what the goal is. And as long as you keep showing up for yourself, ain't nobody can stop what God has blessed you in your heart and your mind to go for. Keep stepping, keep going, don't give up, and don't let nobody tell you or try to convince you or talk you out of the things that you believe that, hey, if I do this, you see a way how you can get out. Don't let nobody pass on their fears onto you, because sometimes, I know this might sound crazy to some people, it's because of your fear, because of the fear that you have inside of you. But not until you're ready to overcome your own fear, you won't be great. You gotta be able to be ready to stand in your light and your truth. Success favors the brave. Be brave, be bold, be resilient, be persistent. Figure a way out. If you can resign before you retire, you can create the future that you want for yourself, because at the end of the day, you can always get another job. But the best thing though is to try to get one before you leave the first one. When you know you are destined for greatness, right? You can't just sit and drink the soup. You can't. I'm telling you, you cannot. When I decide to tell my mother, my friends that, hey, I'm going to get up and leave my good job, people thought I was crazy. When I came out and I did that video about why I left Jamaica, many persons felt like when I did that video about why I left Jamaica, it was like I was aiming an attack at them personally. But honestly, that video was not aimed at anyone. That video is me stepping out in my own light, me stepping out, sharing my dreams, my goals, right, with other persons, to show people that yes, you can have something that's good, but nothing is wrong with wanting the best. Nothing is wrong with wanting to be the best version of yourself. Even my own friends, my mother, my family, people thought I was crazy. Like, girl, how you gonna leave a good job to go do survival jobs, to go start over from scratch? You have a good degree and you have a great opportunity working as an engineer. You can sit, you can eventually reach higher levels in the company, things like that. But that's the thing, that's vision, that's the vision they saw for me, but not what I saw for myself. For me personally, I just didn't want to just move up in a company. I wanted that growth. I'm saying resign before you retire might sound crazy to some people, because some people are afraid they won't make that step. Not until you learn to be brave, intentional, and true to who you are. A lot of us have potential, but we just leave it at potential. It's like a lot of people have some things on their list or their goals for 2023, but it's going to stay right there because yes, you have the potential and you could be doing it every day, but it's just potential. I'm here to tell you, it might sound crazy to some, but I did not come here, sit and make this video for the some who's going to think it's crazy and look at you like you can resign before you retire if you have a good plan. If you know you're not good with money, if you know from the bottom of your heart that every time you get your pay, your money done, you have to weigh all your options. I had to weigh all mine when I decided to resign. True joy in life or true power requires true sacrifice. You have to know what you're willing to sacrifice. Tell me what you think. Is there something you would probably think about? Is there something in your life that you probably want some money to do, but you don't have it? And maybe the bank isn't giving you a loan. Go talk to the person that you need to talk to see how much money in your pension fund. But if you're in Canada, you know you can just borrow that money from yourself. That's a plus. Nobody told me this. And I think maybe why nobody talks about it is because people don't do it. People stay in a job until they're ready to retire. And a lot of people who even do this, like maybe they would have worked in a company for maybe 10, 12 years. And then when they get that money, they decide, okay, I get $10 million. I'm going to pay off my mortgage, right? And they go and they pay off their mortgage, fine. But think about it. All the best to you. Bye.